What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Okay, haha, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Mr. Bungle. Yes, indeed, how about that? Mr. Bungle making their debut on the channel. This comes as a request from Mass Attack 27, and this is actually one of Mass Attack's 3 prioritized requests for the month of June for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Mass Attack. I hope you enjoy the show, man. Mass Attack wanted to see me react to this song by Mr. Bungle called The Air-Conditioned Nightmare. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, I recognize this, I've heard this before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm actually a big fan of Mr. Bungle. Their early work, their debut album that they came out with, the self-titled album, man, I love that album from start to finish. That is one of the best albums I think I've ever heard, ever. I love that album. Then came Disco Violante, and I'm gonna be honest with you folks, I was not a fan of it. I didn't like it, so I hate to say it, but I kind of gave up on them. I was like, well, they had the one album and that was great. I never gave them a chance after that. I know, shame on me. So this is not on either one of those albums from what I understand. I know it's on the first album, and I don't remember this being on Disco Violante either, so I don't know what album it's on. So I'm curious to see if they got better after Disco Violante, or they kind of followed the same track. I don't know. I honestly don't know. We won't know until we give it a listen, obviously. This was posted by Mr. Bungle Topic, okay? And the video has 389,552 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. The Air-Conditioned Nightmare. There we go. That's it. Luckily, we have the album cover worker, I think. It says Mr. Bungle, California. I'm assuming that's the name of the album that this song came from. I'm assuming. I could very well be wrong about that, but I have a feeling I'm right. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Right off the gun, I don't know if it's just me. I'm getting some serious, like, Beach Boy vibes or Jen and Dean vibes, like that surfer rock style vibes. Man, that's weird. I never thought I would hear something like that from Mr. Bungle. Okay, interesting. Let's see where this goes. Oh my God. Okay.
Get me out of this irritation nightmare. You will eat like more than life hates.
lot of trademark Bungle stuff going on. Those abrupt breaks to break up the phrasing of the song. They just, and they're notorious for doing that. At least in the first album they were, where they'd be going along and all of a sudden they're going to go into a new phrase, right? And they would put this break in there, this sudden, just out of nowhere abrupt break. And it would be like the sound of a window breaking or a car crash or, you know, a baby laughing or something like that. They would always do something to cause just that sudden abrupt break that made absolutely no sense within the song. And then with, again, absolutely no warning and no setup, they would go right into the next phrase. It's a trademark of Mr. Bungle. And they're doing it here. They're doing it here. Every time they switched up phrases, there's been that break, that sudden, abrupt, for lack of a better word, nonsensical break that sets up the next phrase. And normally I'm not a big fan of that. Like I would get upset about something like that, but because, and I know this is going to be biased, but because it is Mr. Bungle and because I know what Mr. Bungle's about and their style of songwriting, I'm okay with it. I don't know why. Is it biased? Absolutely, it's biased. I'll freely admit it's biased. Any other band were to do that, I'd be absolutely, you know, biting their heads off for it. But because it's Mr. Bungle, it's okay. It's okay. Call me biased. I'll wear it. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, they're doing it here. That is classic trademark Mr. Bungle. Love it. Absolutely love it. Cannot get over the Beach Boys comparison. It's so there. If you don't hear it, you need to go back and listen to the Beach Boys again. I mean, good Lord, it's so prevalent. It's crazy. But they're doing it so well. Like they're not doing it to make fun of it. They're not doing it to parody it. I wonder if they're actually legitimately paying homage to it. I don't know, but then again, it may just be coincidence. I mean, it's very possible. But it's blatantly there between the keyboard patch that's being used, the guitar tone that they're using, the style of playing that they're doing. Even the drumming is reminiscent, and of course the vocalizations, the harmonies, the soft tone, especially on the attacks from the vocals. It's so classic Beach Boys. It's frightening. Anyway, let's finish this up and we'll get to the review. Back to the fast tempo. Now where's it gonna go?
Where's my rainbow? Where's my halo? There's my hand.
with the glockenspiel. Bung, bung. Yeah, that's, oh man, God. Okay. All right, I you know what? I may have to get back into Mr. Bungle. I may have to get back into them. I'll just skip Disco Violante and I'll move on to whatever album came next. Maybe that's what I just gotta do. I'll see you in the review. We'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Mr. Bungle with the Air-Conditioned Nightmare. This was a request from Mass Attack 27. And this was actually one of Mass Attack's 3 prioritized requests for the month of June for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Mass Attack. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.1. Yep, 8.1. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, like I said, I was a big fan of the first album that they put out. I loved the first album. Some standout songs to me off that first album. Carnival, loved that song. Egg, quote unquote, I liked that. I thought it was a great first song. Not one of my favorite songs off the album, but for a first song, very impactful, very impactful. The Girls of Porn, that was a fun too. That was a fun song to play, actually. I remember we actually covered that song in a band I used to be in. We actually covered it, and it was fun to play, man. I mean, there's a bunch of songs on there, but in particular, Girls of Porn, Egg, God, Squeezy Macaroni was another fun song to play. But yeah, those are the big ones that really kind of stood out. Carnival, obviously. Fantastic songs, all of them. But like I said, when Disco Violante came out, none of their songs hooked me. None of the songs made me go, oh my God, that's amazing. So I was like, okay, well, all right, lightning struck and that's the end of it. So I let them go by the wayside. I'm beginning to wonder if that was a mistake. I wonder if I should have just looked at it instead of, okay, that was just a terrible album. Let's see what the next album's gonna do. Maybe that's what I should have done, and I'm beginning to think it is. This was a great song, man. This was fun. This, you talk about like a song that either knowingly or unknowingly pays tribute to surfer rock, in particular the Beach Boys or Jan and Dean. This is it. I mean, good Lord, it was fantastic. And like I said, I don't know if they were willingly or knowingly paying tribute to those bands or that style of music, or maybe they were, maybe they weren't. Maybe it's just a coincidence. But in either case, tribute was definitely made. It's undeniable. You listen to all the things that were happening in that song, the guitar tones that were being used, in particular the keyboard tones and the keyboard sound that was being used. Good Lord. Prevalent. The style of drumming, that laid back, almost like in the background, but almost as if like it was being played with brushes, but not quite. Like it was sticks. It was just very light stick work. Very, very typical of that style. The vocal work, all the harmonies that were being used. Yes. All the inverted harmonies that were being used. Yes. All the transitions between triads, both major and minor, and then transitioning back to major again. Opening to fourths and resolving to thirds. Yes, it's all reminiscent of that style of music. So, like I said, was it intentionally paying tribute to that style of music, or was it just a happy coincidence? I don't know, but it worked. It absolutely worked. No, this was a fun listen, man. This was a great listen. I enjoyed it, and I think I may have to get back into Mr. Bungle. I'll obviously skip the second album. I've already talked about it. I was not a fan, but I'll have to look at their discography, see what the third album was, and maybe start there and journey down. No, I'm glad I did this. It kind of opened my eyes and said, okay, maybe that was just a bad album, and maybe they learned their lessons and they moved on. Oh, this was a lot more fun to listen to than anything off that second album. So, this was fun. I enjoyed it. I can absolutely see that this is a great song. And that's why it's getting the 8.1. So, 8.1, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.